Doc, what role does the athlete play? And I commend any athlete that's willing to use their platform and speak up, but that's not what they signed up for. Guys that went into civil service, the guys that went into to be a politician, the Chuck Schumers, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, Tim Scott, that's what you signed up for. But it seems to me it's always been the athlete that's normally been at the forefront of these movements.
Especially ours. African-American people, I mean, other athletes have been credible and on the front lines, but for Black people, it's because when we didn't have Black politicians, we had Black musicians and we had Black athletes. Before we had William Dawson or Adam Clayton Powell, we had Duke Ellington and Louis Armstrong, right?
Count Basie.
Count Basie. And so we were those athletes, right? We had Joe Louis. We didn't have no United States Senator in the Senate when Joe Louis was fighting. Jackie Robinson was playing, but Jackie Robinson was a senator, and Joe Louis was an ambassador and a congressperson, if you will, for our interests, for the Black community. So they were our mouthpieces. They were our vocal, articulate spokespeople to try to defend us, to try to stand up and speak for us. So when Sam Cooke or Aretha Franklin or, you know, Ray Charles came along, even as we were gaining a burgeoning political power, they were the voice pieces because white people admired them and they were able to seize the authority to articulate our viewpoints and represent our interests because white people loved and admired them. So that's why we've turned to them. Even after we've gotten political representation, we still depend upon conscientious, entertainers and athletes to articulate our noble ideals and aspirations.
Dog, you know what I noticed is that if a Black man or woman becomes successful and they speak out against inequality or racial and social injustice and things of systemic racism, they like, you made it, why are you complaining? But when whites, our counterparts, try to help their community, they never say, well, why are you complaining? If Jeff Bezos were to give $2 billion to help causes for his community, nobody would say a word. But if LeBron James speaks out, shut up and dribble, stick to basketball, stick to sports, why do you care? Trade places. What is that about?
I mean, it's about white supremacy. It's about white privilege. It's about failing to understand white complicity. It's about refusing to acknowledge the double standard. And it's, again, it's failing to acknowledge that those athletes had to speak up and out in the past in order for any interest of Black people to be expressed or articulated. And so, yeah, you're right. Be grateful. Why is Michelle Obama mad? This country gave you the ability to make a living. It gave you one too. It gave you ability to steal my stuff. It gave you ability to loot and rob and be, thieves of Black opportunity and upward mobility. So yeah, you're right. They never asked them that question. If they help their neighborhoods, they're being, look, despite the fact that they're rich, they're reaching back. Despite the fact that they have tremendous money, they're speaking out. Look, when Donald Trump was speaking up and speaking out, nobody said he's a billionaire. Why is he talking about the working class white people? They said, thank God we finally got somebody speaking for us. So a white billionaire who really in truth doesn't give a darn, a fly-in flip about poor white people is seen as their hero, but LeBron James can't even speak up for his people and be seen as a person who identifies with his people. That's the double standard that continues to prevail in this country.
So you believe the athlete is really important in this movement for equality and injustice, and LeBron has his referendum, like he's trying to register people to get to vote and get people to vote and understand your vote is that your vote matter. Because for the longest time, Doc, I was one of those. My vote doesn't matter. It does matter, because when you get 5, 6, 7 million people saying my vote matters, well, that's just not one vote. That's 5 or 6 million people voting, and it does matter.
It does matter big time. And God bless you. I'm glad you changed your mind. That's the kind of great man you are. You can admit that you were wrong.
Yes.
People died for that vote. People shed blood for that vote. People got hit in the face for that vote. John Lewis got beat down for that vote. So yeah, let's be real here. Who are the 3 guys probably in the conversation for the GOAT? Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, right? I know who your GOAT is.
Yep.
But when you put social conscience on the platform. When you put outspokenness like that, and I love Jordan and Kobe. That's my Kobe. You know my feeling about Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe, your guy.
Like this. If you're gonna put it all together, LeBron had been the GOAT. LeBron the stallion. He the horse. He the pig, the cow, the dog. He the farm. I mean, dog. It ain't even no comparison for what that man has done. And so, you know, the comparison to anybody when standing up against him is, to me, feeble. And so, I mean, Jabbar was great, Jim Brown was great, but to have that peak performance, 35 years old, 17 years in the league, still playing like you 5 years in, still in incredible shape, still should be the MVP. I don't care what nobody says. Still playing the greatest, incredible, and you love Black people without apology or excuse. Bruh, there's nobody near you. And so I think we need him. When LeBron sat down and said this, I don't know, Black people are scared. Black women, Black men, Black kids. He said, we're terrified. We don't know if that guy got up on the right side of the bed, the wrong side of the bed, that cop. We don't know if that cop had a horrible argument with his kid and went out the house steaming. He said, or if the cop basically said, this is the day I'm going to end one of their lives. He said, this is how it feels. Now, LeBron ain't got no access to these people. He don't know.
Right.
His point is, this is what it feels like to us.
Right.
When the greatest athlete on the globe, right, along with Serena, when the greatest athlete on the globe says that and identifies with Black people saying we're terrified and scared, do you know what that does to articulate our meaning? A politician can't say it that way.
Right.
I don't care who, I don't care what politician you are. That LeBron James, who ain't got no office, ain't nobody put him in office. I'm gonna flip your argument. Ain't nobody, he ain't went to the polls. The polls were in the people who love him because of what he did. The affirmation of him as an extraordinary figure. It's even purer, right? He didn't have to run no campaign. He showed up and did what he did, and he's won the hearts of the masses. That's remarkable. So yeah, when Joe Louis was fighting Max Schmeling in the ring in the 40s, late 30s, early 40s, he's fighting fascism. He's fighting Nazism. Not just another white guy who's from Germany. It's two different systems, democracy versus Nazism, on display there. These Black athletes have been representative not only of their people, but of their nation in a way that the nation didn't deserve. Because when we went to fight in foreign wars and came back in our uniforms, they lynched us. They killed us. They murdered us. So yeah, a LeBron James, a Carmelo Anthony, a Chris Paul, all of the WNBA. My God, a Candace Parker, Diane Taurasi. When you think about all of them, as great as the men have been, I mean, LeBron will stand up above anybody, but right under him, Maya Moore, and all those great Black athletes in the WNBA, they've been ahead of this game. They got gunshot wounds where Blake was shot in the exact space. And his name on the front of their jet. They way beyond what the guys collectively are doing, but I'm loving what the guys are doing as well. So yes, to answer your question, we still need them out there.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button to become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we always do something before two something.